now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends.
You know, even if Aljon Mariano's not there, Tolentino's there. So you know now if you're Coach Tim Cone, either or, you're gonna get something.
And when we were, talking about having this series and we were so excited heading into this finals, and after 24 minutes of basketball, we are seeing exactly why these two teams are just a cut above the rest and they are on another level. And like I was saying, you saw the TNTest, most TNT performance in the first quarter, but Ginebra was there to really stay with him. Let's take a look at the replay, and there it is, a foot right on the line, and that's why that was considered a 2. It was revoked from a 3, as you saw, and that's why we're tied at 41. And then when we got to the second quarter, it was the most Ginebra-esque performance, and we are still tied as we head into the third period of action right now. What will give? What we do see is that Ray Parks will give a turnover away, and Tolentino trying to keep that alive. Here's Thompson inside, Japet with the dunk.
What you got to see if you're TNT, you're happy. You're at 41. It was. You got the first quarter, your second quarter, Ginebra took control. But what you gotta see is a Jason Castro who hasn't scored.
Yes.
In this ball game, you need him to be aggressive.
And speaking of Castro, he does start this quarter and immediately gets it off of the glass. So Mr. Dominic Uy using that crystal ball.
And you look at him, he only played, what, 11 minutes in the first 2 quarters. Only 11. Why? Because you remember the last 2 or 3 games of TNT, actually the last 2 games, they already were starting him. They needed their best 5. And in today's ball game, they need him again. They need him, especially in this second half, to be able to put his head down, be aggressive, get and break down that defense of Barangay.
Here's Tolentino after the steal and the finish. 6 straight inside the paint points for Ginebra. And Coach Bong Ravena and consultant Mark Dickel need to talk things over. Ginebra getting 2 dunks courtesy of Japet and a finish in the open floor from Arvin Tolentino. That's not how you want to come out of that halftime break.
And you don't want to come out of that halftime break like that because it's a turnover, it's easy shots. You don't want to let your guard down. See, that's an easy 2 points for Japet. It was a layup by Arvin Tolentino. These are the things that, this is not how you want to start out. It's not how they started out the first quarter.
Yes.
They wanted to start out exactly how they did in the first.
And defense is going to be the measure of things for the TNT Tropang Giga. Offense will be the measure for Ginebra. And right now, the offense for Ginebra is doing just that tad bit better. Here's Castro. Has to find Jay Wash, asking for it back, but instead they look elsewhere. They go to Troy in the post against Arvin Tolentino. Pugoy, leading scorer for his side, adds 2 more.
We talked about Pugoy. He didn't have such a great semifinal series, averaging in double digits, but in the lower side of it, they want him to have another breakout game. They need that confidence for RR Pugoy, just so that they have more weapons.
Pugoy able to stop that swing pass to Stanley Pringle. So that will mean it will remain with Ginebra with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Stanley with Rosario in front of him, goes to Tenorio, gets it back, pull up for 3, got it.
It's just so smooth, it's automatic for Stanley.
Turns it into a rhythm shot. Here's Jason, who's rejected by the board. Ginebra looking to push the ball. LA finds Japet inside, but that's an offensive foul.
Troy Rosario knew what he needed to do was to get Japet even deeper by using his body, using his lower body that time.
Take a look at that 3-pointer. So fresh and so clean. Stanley Pringle picking up where he left off in the first half. And his side leads by 5 now. Parks coming off with some screens. Sidestepping. Jay Wash for 3. Back iron. Ball ends with Tenorio. Pringle surveying the field, and he's fouled by Jason. That will be a sideline inbound.
Stanley Pringle, right? When he heard that whistle, took that shot.
Just throw it up.
Was trying to get that continuation.
What a player this guy is for this side. Just adds so much more dimensions to Coach Tim Cohn's offense. Here's Arvin Tolentino working against Troy Rosario. Empty trip. TNT on the counter. Putting that one up. No. Tapped around. Ends up back with Ray in a fresh 14.
Jay Wash again. Making that big play. Getting that tap. Getting that extra rebound. Getting a 3-point shot off that second chance point.
And it's all about effort coming from him, and he just made that all possible. Ginebra's lead is down to 2, but they have possession. Scotty just eking his way in.
That's just too easy. That time, nobody challenging that shot of Scotty Thompson.
Take it back. Cutting inside. Pugoy gets it. Sees he's open. Hoop in the arm for him.
R.R. Pugoy, this third quarter. Pugoy already had 9 points at the beginning of the third quarter. And he's been aggressive. Him and Jason Castro providing the firepower for TNT.
Tolentino is the one that catches Pugoy on the forearm. So a 3-point play opportunity as Simon Enciso enters the game now for TNT. Pugoy trying to add that spark back to his offense. He's got 14 in this game already. Coach Mark Dickel and Coach Bong Ravenna must be very happy with that. His side, though, is still down by 1.
And he's not getting his points from the 3-point area. You know, he's been aggressive getting those layups and getting that offensive rebound.
3-pointer, though. Outside shooting coming from Arvin Tolentino. Pushes the lead back up to 4 for Ginebra. Castro. Losing it, regains it. Still alive. 10 on the shot clock. Another opportunity here for TNT. Pugoy thought about the 3, drives all the way, can't finish. Pringle there to challenge it, but Castro's clutching at his ankle. Pringle attacking and finishing.
And once you see a man down, if you're the opposing team, you have that basketball, you want to try and attack because you know that there's only 4 guys that's going to try to defend.
That means that Castro is able to at least walk off on his own power. That is a good sign for TNT fans. Let's take a look at it again. Just stepping on Tenorio's foot right there. And collectively, every person that is watching us on PBA Rush did the move.
That's really something that, you know, that hurts.
Yes.
But good thing about that, doesn't look like it's going to be all that serious. If you're Jason Castro.
Hopefully he has that taped up. 6-point advantage for Ginebra. Here is Jay Wash back to Pugoy. 7 on the shot clock. RR off the glass. Can't finish it. Another missed layup here for Tnt Tropa Giga. Teniente.
Here, look at the 5 on the floor for TNT. You have no Troy Rosario. They're going small.
Yeah. No Troy. No Poi. Tenorio for 3. Got it.
What a big quarter so far for Barangay Ginebra. You look at them, they have 60 points already. That's 19 points in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter.
And they scored 19 points in the entire second, already surpassing that. We'll be back.
points in the second quarter and 23% from beyond the arc at the first half. As such, the coaches of TNT reminded the squad about the importance of dictating the tempo on offense, but at the same time not hurrying. Medyo nagmamadrido kasi sila, and as such, they had a couple of forced shots and 7 turnovers. TNT also gave up 16 free throws, so the team was reminded to avoid fouling too much and sending Ginebra to the line because the pace will be slowed down into their opponent's advantage. Tignan natin if magagawa nila under the offensive staff.
That is a huge three-pointer by Ray Parks there to put an end to the bleeding here for TNT Tropa Giga. And thank you as well as Selena Dagdag for that report. That cuts the lead down to half a dozen.
Aaron, you look at Scotty Thompson with 10, Arvin Tolentino with 10, Stanley Pringle with 14, Japet Aguilar with 10. So you have 4 guys already in double digits.
Ooh, tough. Here's Enciso. TNT trying to get that offense restarted here. They have 6 3-pointers, including that most recent one from Ray Parks. Can't add another one from Simon Enciso, and 2 TNT members bumping into each other there.
So now they're bringing back Poy Aram, trying to see what Poy Aram can do. Let's see if they're going to try to go to him down low.
And you were pointing out how small that lineup for TNT was a while ago. This lineup got even smaller right now with Montalvo, Enciso, Pugoy, Parks, and then Poy Aram. But Montalvo with the steal, keeping it alive, diving on the floor. You gotta love the hustle.
What school did he come from?
It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. You guys can Google that.
I love the hustle.
Always.
And that's what you need to be able to bring. You know, you're a young guy. You know, you're trying to make a name for yourself in this league. You got to be able to bring in that extra effort, make those hustle plays that the coaches will remember.
Pugoy has Arvin Tolentino in front of him. They go to Poy Aram. Aram driving, using all of his footwork, but to no avail.
He's got to be able to knock down those shots.
Is it that there's no confidence in it, or is it just, I mean, what's going on?
He actually hasn't had a great game yet, I feel, for TNT. You know, he needs that. He needs that, you know, he needs a breakout game.
One of those like 20 and 15 kind of games.
To be able to build off that.
So Ginebra with possession. They are ahead by 6. Pringle. That's a foul by Montalvo. Just different looks being given here by TNT on who is guarding Stanley Pringle. This time around, it is Montalvo.
That's just a tough assignment.
Imagine being a rookie and then they tell you, okay, you got to guard that guy.
Stanley Pringle. I mean, you know that your feet, your knees, your ankles are going to get X'd.
They go back to Pringle against the rookie. Jab step and just pulls up, not able to get the drop though. And Enciso on the other end. Ryan Reyes has entered the game now for TNT. Montalvo, 10 on the shot clock. Kib finding Ray, 6 on the shot clock now. He pulls up for 3, and he got it. Splashed that one home.
Well, he's got to be able to take on it now. Remember, Jason Castro sitting down because of a sprained ankle.
Big time players step up big time when needed. Is this the time for Ray? Here's Pringle inside, taken away. Good steal on that end by Ray Parks.
They've been making defensive stops, and that's the big difference. After that timeout, at the 6-minute and 55 mark, they were down by 9, now only down by 3.
Adam for 3. Back iron, rebound is long. Bodies hitting the floor, it's still alive. Here's Thompson. Tolentino trying to take the 3 back, nothing there. Montalvo will take the rebound.
Look at him hustle, look at him go.
Foul given up there by Arvin Tolentino to stop the break. But a 6-0 run here for TNT, silently chipping away at this lead, Dom.
And Ray Parks, he's been the one trying to get his team back. He's really the guy that they're looking to be able to score, help them out, make better looks, easier looks for his teammates. Because he can hurt you from the three-point area, he can attack you left, he can go right, he can step back. He just has all those moves in his arsenal.
And looks like Jason Castro's good to go because he's checking back into the game. And his offense is much needed right now for the Tropang Giga. Coming in as well, Aljon Mariano, the energy that he and Arvin Tolentino have just been exchanging as they be subbed in and out for each other. And look at Ray Parks using that basketball IQ now to try and chip at this lead even further.
Getting Scotty Thompson there, that's his third personal.
This lead was 60 to 51. Now Ray Parks with a chance to bring it all the way down to one solitary point. A lot has been said about this man. A lot of so many different takes, but you look at 14, 4, and 3 with 2 steals. The man is one of the most gifted basketball players in the PBA.
And because you're so gifted, the expectations are a lot higher.
Exactly.
And that's why he gets a lot of flack for the way he does things, the way he plays. That's just because the spotlight is on him.
Exactly. Foul on the ground. And clutching right there. I think that is Scotty Thompson clutching at his knee. Or hopefully he's okay. Yeah, he seems like he got to peel himself off of the ground.
Was it his solar plexus?
I don't know what that is. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know. But Scotty says, whatever it is, I'm good.
You can Google it.
Yeah, you can Google that one also. And they will review what was happening. It was Montalvo and Scotty Thompson getting involved with 3.5 to go. This has been another twist and turn of a quarter. This has been a quarter of runs, Dom.
And, you look at the first quarter, it was pretty much a long run for TNT.
Yeah.
Same thing that happened in the second quarter, but for the other side, for Barangay Ginebra. Here in the third, it's been alternate runs. And you gotta love this game. You gotta love how both teams, able to adjust after a timeout.
I think they're gonna give a flagrant one. Ryan Reyes? We'll wait for the confirmation. I'm just wondering because he's heading back to the bench. So yeah, it will be 2 free throws for Scotty Thompson. Somebody was whistled for the flagrant foul. We'll wait for confirmation. But Scotty has 1 in the bag. He's got 1 on the way.
And the interesting part really of the bubble is you can hear the players, the coaches, basically everything that the players are saying, and the coaches as well. So it's confirmed.
Yeah.
Flagrant foul penalty 1 on Ryan Reyes.
So that pushes the lead back up to 6. That ends an 8-0 run here for Tnt Tropa Giga.
You're talking about Ryan Reyes, his godfather, actually. The godfather of his partner, who is the daughter of Ed Cordero, is watching the ball game right now. I'd like to say hi to Cesar Wong Chu King, and also a big supporter of Gilas Pilipinas.
Hello, thank you. Of course, Gilas Pilipinas with another game on the way, but first we got to take care of this business here in your PBA Finals. An empty trip for Ginebra. They could not take advantage of the possession, but here's Ray Parks. Can't hit the three-point Adam trying to keep it alive. That's a foul on the push on Prince Caperal.
He's got to box him out. And these are the things that I was talking about that Coach Tim Cone is looking for in Prince Caperal. I know you can score. I know you can do things offensively. Defensively, I need you to be better.
Because that's what will round out that game. And that's what he's looking for. His side, though, is still leading by 3. 2:57 to go in the third. We'll be back. Prince Capiral and Poy Eram is going to be very interesting because one guy is a lot is expected of him, and there's still so much more that are searched for. On the other side, a player is surpassing so many expectations that were not even there on him before the bubble even started.
Well, because before the bubble, Prince Capiral, you're not getting too many minutes because he had a lot of other guys that he had to compete against in terms of playing time. We're talking about Greg Slaughter, but Greg Slaughter not joining Barangay Ginebra in the bubble. But look at his numbers, especially the beginning of the bubble. He was getting 15, 20 points a ball game. And that's huge because he helped now Japet Aguilar to work himself back into shape. On the other hand, Poy Eram, look at his numbers. Basically 9 points, 9 rebounds, 50% from the field. I feel he's getting better. I feel he's definitely improving. But the only way he's really going to get those numbers to be able to stay away from foul trouble. That's really one thing that Poy Eram needs to work on in his game because he's so valuable when he's on the floor.
He adds just so many different looks. He's so long. He can do so many different things. Let's see if he can turn it around here today and help Tnt Tropa open this series with a win. Or will Prince Capiral have another turn of events in his character development here in this PBA bubble?
So far, 4.7 rebounds for Poy Eram. Capiral hasn't scored yet and has 2 rebounds. 3 rebounds, rather.
Jeff Chan called for the foul. Under 3 to go rather here in the third period. Parks will be the trigger man for fresh 14 for Tnt Tropa. Double on Jason. They go to Montalvo. Here's Ray. Sidestepping off the glass and in, and he continues to percolate.
It's been a huge quarter for Ray Parks.
Huge. Picking up where his team absolutely needs him at this point. That lead is back down to 1. Jeff Chan over to LA for 3. Rebound to Aljon Mariano. Poy Eram taps it out. Here comes TNT on the other end. Bogoy against Chan. Off the glass and in. And the lead, the hoop, and the harm all going his way.
Well, he just knew exactly what he needed to do. He was ahead. He was in control of this fast break. Got the contact against Jeff Chan, the foul, and the 2 points.
And that amazing play of the quarter is brought to you by Smart. Experience the next level speeds with Smart 5G.
Bogoy now with 16 points in the ball game and 4 rebounds. Big game for him.
And it's something where you see the character of a player answering the call when you need to step up. Our Bogoy was obviously needed, and he's doing it here today.
And you know, if you're TNT, you want to get game number 1. You know, you haven't won a championship since 2015. Basically, the only 2 guys that were in that championship were Jason Castro, Harvey Carey, and I'm not sure if Ryan Reyes was there already.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is basically a bunch of new guys that you need to, you know, educate in terms of how that, you know, TNT is this type of franchise that, you know, it's championship.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
Yeah.
You got to get a championship. If you're Barangay Ginebra, you know, you're coming off a championship. You've been together for quite a while, so you know how important it is. The rookies, they'll learn from the veterans.
It's about one side is instilling a championship mentality, the other side is continuing a championship mentality. Both teams now in the penalty. Just a shade under 100 seconds remaining in this quarter. Here's Tenorio. That is short. Rebound to Scotty Thompson. Ball is still alive. Tapped around. Ends up with Jaren Dillinger. A fresh 14 once again for Ginebra. Scotty against Montalvo, throws it up. Push from behind there on Japet Aguilar as 2 generations of Ateneo centers tangling underneath.
Japet so far, 10 points, 7 rebounds. That's his 2nd personal foul.
So TNT opened up this quarter and they were down huge. They gave up 19 points in 5 minutes and they were down by 9. Have immediately fired all the way back, making that free throw And this is now a 15-point run right here. Wow. No, to correct myself, that is a huge 14-2 run.
24 points so far for TNT in this quarter.
They only scored 14 in the second. They gave up 19. But we've been saying it since a while ago. Haymaker after haymaker being sent by both teams. And the other team has responded every single time.
And you remember, the start of the third quarter went Barangay Ginebra's way. I mean, there's an early timeout after 1 minute and 19 seconds.
7 on the shot clock again. This time it's Thompson for 3. And he hits it.
That's from that same left corner that he knocked down that game winner on Friday against Phoenix.
Castro dishes it out. Enciso, same spot, other side, same results.
Like you mentioned, one team taking a 3, making a 3, the other team responding with the same thing.
Ginebra at 65, TNT nicely put at 69. Here is Japet inside, gets the foul. He'll head to the free throw line for 2.
That's just too deep. You cannot allow Japet Aguilar to get that deep.
And he was trying, Troy was doing it right a while ago. Boy is having a little bit of a harder time now.
Well, because you're taller, you end up not using your lower body as much because you're trying to compete, I guess, in a higher level in terms of the height, right? Unlike Troy, he knows that he needs to be able to use his lower body to push him out. But when you're more or less the same size, you use a lot more of your hands.
Japet's got 11 and 7, all pretty much expected production from him. Tenorio will sit back down. 1 of 2 from the free throw line for Japet Aguilar. And it's still a 3-point advantage for Tnt Tropa. They have possession. Shot clock is turned off. The blur with Jared Dillinger in front of him. 5 on the shot clock now. Asking for a pick with 3 to go. Jason has to throw it up. He's fouled. And the wily veteran move, taking advantage of that defense that was being thrown his way.
And that's the 3rd time that Scotty Thompson has gotten caught in terms of the fouls, right? And he's given up 3 fouls that the guys are actually going to take a free throw.
They're going to check this. Is it a 3? That is the question.
Looks like he was stepping on that line.
That toe looked like it was just on it. And you see Scotty getting caught with his hand in the cookie jar right there. So I believe it will be 2 free throws for Jason Castro, and a huge turnaround. And if the first half was a tale of 2 different quarters, this quarter has been a tale of 2 different 6 minutes of it.
Jason Castro, 5 points so far, all coming in the third quarter. Could add another 2 if he makes these 2 free throws. But him and Ray Parks leading the way offensively, and RR Pugoy for TNT to have a big comeback.
Castro gets the first.
And we're talking of comeback just within the quarter.
Within the quarter, exactly.
Because we were tied at the end of 24 minutes.
This one was a much more up-tempo scoring quarter, much to the liking of TNT at the tail end of it. And that lead is now all the way up to 5. Thompson at the buzzer. New. Almost gets that one to bounce off of the shot clock. But that'll end the third quarter. TNT fighting all the way back. And Roger Pugoy with a big breakout game from what we saw in the semis.
A huge game so far for RR Pugoy. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And you like how he's been aggressive both ends of the floor. You talked about a two-way player in Scotty Thompson. This is TNT's version of a two-way player, RR Pugoy.
And that will wrap up 3 quarters with Tnt Tropa ahead by 5, 71 to 66 rather. And that score is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. Payoff period, 4th quarter, when we return here on PBA Rush.
They're not even surprised about it. The luxury of having Stanley in any team is that he knows how to take over. That is something that this Ginebra team has really worked on, integrating his strength, the coach team system, and that has never been more evident than what we saw 2 days ago. When the last play was drawn up, the instructions was for Stanley to use the clock and go for the last shot. But this isn't about being a hero. For Stanley, it's about finding that winning shot. So when you ask them, what's the best thing about Stanley? Is it his skills, or is it that evident unselfishness and trust he also has on his teammates? Gentlemen.
Thank you for that report, Denise. What does it mean to a coach to have that kind of a character from your pretty much the best player on your team?
You got to remember, they brought him in and Ginebra was already winning.
Yes.
Right? And you just added possibly or arguably the best guard in the league. Right? Offensively, and to be able to let him fit into your system and him to embrace that. Remember, he's won a championship now, so he understands what Coach Tim is telling him is correct.
Let's take a look at this first. This is our dream move of the game, brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. Japet Aguilar about to tear down that board. We got a timeout on the floor. Ginebra down by 1. We'll be back. Parks on your screens. This dude has been balling out here today, and his side leads by 1. 1 minute has gone by in the quarter. We've already seen a timeout. A lot needed to be discussed.
In the first few minutes, it's always been TNT calling a timeout.
Here's Castro for 3. Nope. So and that will mean it'll switch sides.
What does that tell us? That, you know, coming off the quarter breaks, Ginebra doing a much better job.
Yes. Ginebra with a chance to take the lead here. Only 1 point separate our two teams. What will give in the final quarter? Tenorio. Inside to Japet. He has Troy Rosario guarding him. Pringle coming off a whole lot of staggers. Tolentino's jumper swishes in.
Just continuing being unselfish is Barangay Ginebra. You know, that third quarter, big run by TNT. They had 30 points compared to 25 for Barangay Ginebra. Why was that? They got to the free throw line. They were aggressive. They knocked down a couple of three-point shots. They got the rebounds, but they also moved that ball well. Barangay Ginebra, how did they get that big start in the third? Also by moving that ball well and just playing unselfish basketball, which is what they did here in the fourth. So for sure, the coaching staff of Barangay Ginebra telling them, let's move that basketball, find easy shots.
Speaking of easy shots, this was not one of them. It was an amazing play of the quarter. And it's brought to you by Smart. Experience the next level speeds with Smart 5G. Parks down on the ground again. His side is ahead by 1 right now. There was going to be a sideline inbound, and you can see Ray is gimping now. You see that he's walking with a little bit of a limp there.
Actually, I've noticed that even
since a while ago, right?
Since a while ago. But he's a warrior. Again, he's a man on a mission.
Yes.
When you've been given by the Creator, by God, all the talents. Again, the spotlight is on you. LeBron James,
yes,
right? That's why he's got a lot of people for him, a lot of people against him as well. But that's the challenge.
Yeah.
When to a lot who has been given, a lot is expected.
Exactly. Not able to hit that three-pointer though. Ginebra with a chance once again.